Hello, and welcome to the Corso Italian Wine and Pasta Club for April 2026. I am Jill Erber, owner of Corso Italian, and today we're going to be delving into one of my favorite family producers. Their wines are amazing, and you can drink them with everything, but one of the main reasons that I'm so drawn to them is they are very well known for their beautiful creations from native Italian grapes, as are so many winemakers throughout Italy. There's a fierce appreciation and desire to sort of amplify and highlight the ancient indigenous grapes of Italy. They do that, but they also have become really well known for the way that they work with what you would traditionally think of as European grapes. And it's a beautiful way to see how these well-known European grapes can take on their own Italian spirit when treated with love and care and raised in the beautiful soils of the Friuli region of northeastern Italy. When I say northeastern, I mean about as northeastern as you can get in Italy, right between the Alps and the Adriatic Sea. So in addition to having incredibly lush and rich and fantastic grape growing soil, they also get beautiful influences from both the mountains and the neighboring sea. What this gives you is wines that are incredibly pure and incredibly expressive of the land from which they come. So let's go ahead and dive in. First here to our wine duo. So Di Leonardo, again, is famous for capturing these traditional sort of traditional European grapes. And the first that we're jumping into is their Sauvignon Blanc. So Sauvignon Blanc actually does beautifully in this climate, has really cool nights, warmer days, lots of sunshine, brings out the inherent tropical note here and beautiful acidity of Sauvignon Blanc. But if you're familiar with kind of like the New Zealand style of Sauvignon Blanc, this is a very different experience. Yes, you will still get a good amount of that tropical spirit of the Sauvignon Blanc, but this is really a more kind of pristine, elegant expression of Sauvignon Blanc. A little less on the tropical intensity, a little more on the minerality, but its spirit cannot be denied. Beautiful acidity, super food friendly. Think of this with goat cheese, with salads, with vegetables, with creamy pastas. It's an absolutely fantastic table wine for you. Secondly, we're going to another very traditional European grape, and this is a grape called Merlot. So if you're thinking of, oh, I thought Merlot only was grown in France or in the United States. No, Northern Italy does a beautiful job with Merlot, and it has been grown there for hundreds of years, so it's not like it's a new kid on the block there. What the Merlot from Friuli captures is less of a like punch-in-the-face fruit forwardness and velvetiness, and more of a subdued elegance and an austerity. And you're going to find that it has all of that wonderful fruit that you love about Merlot, but it also has a little bit more of a reserved quality, which is really fantastic. This is going to be wonderful with roasted meats, braised meats, poultry, and pork. You will love it. Now on to our premier selection for the month. And I just love this. This is actually called Thanks. And this is a white blend that was created to honor the supporters and customers of Di Leonardo and their family. And I think it's a beautiful homage to the relationship that the winemaker has with their customers and the people who love them and support them and endorse them and talk about them. So the Bianco blend is actually Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay, which is kind of cool. And then they throw in a little bit of Italian spirit with an indigenous Italian grape called Friulano, which is going to give a little bit of like a floral quality to this. It's absolutely wonderful. You're getting acidity, you're getting food friendliness, roundness, you're getting a lot of character. This is going to be wonderful again with creamier pastas, and you can definitely do this with chicken, any sort of game, and you can't go wrong. This family producer is, again, it's just one of my favorites, and one of the main things I love about them is their desire to work with alternative approaches to wine, which is kind of fun. They're not doing just the everyday in Italian. They're really pushing the envelope, and that makes them both delicious and exciting. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next month.